Hey y'all, and welcome to my channel, Mama Lotus, the Oracle here. It's been like several days since I have posted on this channel, since I've recorded a video, since I've wanted to record a video. I've been doing a lot of spiritual stuff, just by myself, for myself. Because it's been so necessary. Life has been kind of crazy for myself. Yet again. Lots of things that have kind of recently just had me way down. Just way heavy. I'm just trying to figure out not what I am to do, but like how I'm gonna do what I am to do. In my line of like thinking and research and experience, I must say that I've learned that we shouldn't really focus too heavy on the how of things, just the what. Like, what are we looking for? What are we desiring, wanting, needing? And in terms of having that come to fruition, the how of that is not our business. And I know I've experienced this multiple times before. Like, when I truly let go, things just fall into place like Tetris. There's been a lot of changes. So many changes that today is a very significant day because of the order of those changes and those days that things have been changing. So I've been out and about today handling earthly business. It's not my most fun stuff to I like to be up in the clouds, but I have to do some things, get some things situated on the earthly level in order for me to be good on the spiritual level. Yeah. So now I'm back home and I'm good on going back out. Like, I'm so good, but I might end up going. But that's neither here nor there. I just, I was doing all that, so then I got home, I laid down. I'm like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? And some said, do a video. It's been a while. You feel capable today. So, I'm doing a video. I guess I did feel a little channeling happening because I'm be honest, that whole little bit about not worrying about the how and just focusing on the what, the outcome, the goal, the desire. It's like, you know that, Antoinette, you know that, Lotus. And I haven't really been thinking about that for myself, really. So it's really purposeful for me to pick up my phone and do this right now because I needed that message. And maybe somebody else did too. But yeah. The how. I like how Tabitha Brown be like, that ain't your business. That is not my business. That is not your business. The how. You just go and believe and focus and decide, and don't let nobody distract you from your focus and what you want. Oh, how I needed that. Oh my gosh. Wow. I needed that so bad. Y'all have no idea. Ooh, I needed that. I needed that. If I can be kind of real with y'all, like what else I'm gonna be? I think one of my biggest lessons in life has been distractions and like dealing with them. I recently had to make a big change, like for good this time, regarding someone, and it became very clear. His purpose in my life was distraction. And y'all, if y'all go back on my videos down, there was a video I was talking about don't be letting distractions distract you or whatever. And it was a very sincere moment. And it's crazy because I was not gonna look, now I'm getting excited. I wasn't gonna post that video because it was unfinished. Because if you watch it, you could tell I was obviously very distracted. And the person that I'm talking about, who I had to remove from my life, was literally the person on that video distracting me. You guys didn't see him, but he was the one. He was the reason why the video ended. He was the reason why I kept on being distracted. And what's crazy is, just to be a little real, recently I was having a very significant moment where I was trying to basically, once again, make sure I'm taking care of myself to where I'm not losing myself, you know, in a permanent way, if you get my jizz, right? During this moment, it was so crazy because it was storming, and it was storming so bad that I literally saw a bolt of lightning, y'all. It was so thick and close, come down out the sky to the ground where I live, like, ooh, not even 5 minutes away from where I was parked, and I was in my car in my driveway. See, I like storms though, so I wasn't really in a hurry to get out of my car, but I also didn't want to get soaking wet, but I also kind of wanted to enjoy the storm. So I was able to see the bolt of lightning come down, and it was such a big bolt of lightning. And I don't play about storms, y'all. Like, I know everything's spiritual to me. So, and I have been seeing videos, watching videos that was like, a storm is coming. And they're obviously talking about more on a spiritual note, but we know that spiritual materializes eventually, right? So I'm over here like, where the storm at, right? Because, you know, I be the storm. I be the storm sometimes myself, right? Like, I got lightning in my blood, right? So, but during this moment, right? So I'm talking to these people on the phone to try to get my help that I need. I'm currently on a leave of absence from work because I can't work. Like, I'm physically not feeling well, emotionally not feeling, mentally terrible, every way, shape, and form, just not okay, right? But still got enough juice and gas inside of me to at least seek out the help on my own that I need for myself, right? But I'm like, at this time, I'm not to be for somebody right now. Like, this is what I got to do for me, especially for me to be able to do what I do love to do, which is to be there for people. But I can't continue to do that. That's all I've been doing all these years, is being there for other people, doing for other people, serving, giving, caring, loving, you know, like, that's been mostly what I do, and I love to do it. I'm good at it. Like, I don't know. It's a natural situation. Like, I'm for real a shaman for real. Like, I'm a for real oracle for real. Like, for real. Like, I don't even always gotta know. Like, I don't gotta have a license. I don't gotta have, you know what I mean? I'm not bragging. I'm just saying, like, I've seen now, like, my resume, I'm good at that. Like, I'm good at figuring stuff out. Okay. And I'm good at, like, following my intuition for other people. But, you know, I'm trying to do better at being that way for myself. Because then if I can't be for myself, then who can I be for? I can't be for nobody else if I'm not for myself. So there was one person who knew more and better than anybody else what I was dealing with that day and those days as I'm missing work and missing money, right? Missing money from the work. I don't want to just throw that out there like money ain't coming my way, because I gotta believe that it is, and I do. But anyway, I got to. One person that knew better than anybody else, and yet this one person needed me more than anybody else that day. Actually, he did not need me. He knew that if he feigned to need me, or if he needed something or felt he needed something, that he could call me. He could get it from me. He could get the answers, the direction, the help, support, whatever from me, because literally in my mind and our connection had it basically had become this thing where I'm like, I'm for you. I'm for him. Yeah, I'm for him. Like if I pass away, I'm gonna be his guardian angel. You know, like, call me strange, but it was kind of like that, like, because it just kept coming up to where I'm doing things for him and helping him and giving to him and pouring into him, and you know, just making sure that he's good because I'm so good at it. And also because I love him for real. I care about him. And it's like, dang, if only he had this help or this support, he'd be better. Da 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 da, or whatever. But but you know, we already had our back and forths, our ups and downs, confusion about what it is we doing, what's our bond, what's the nature of it, what is this, why does it exist, right? Do we want it? Like, you know, all these different things, right? So we've just been bonded. Like, we haven't been boyfriend girlfriend. We're, you know, none of that. Just bonded. You know, connected friends, very meshed. Maybe messy. Maybe that's the word that wants to come out. But just like a conglomerate of relationship, like connection, natures of our connection. You know, like, it's very weird and interesting. But very much so, everything's always a lesson in a journey. So I've learned, you know, unfortunately, my friend I wasn't really putting this label on him. Like, all this time I've known him, which is almost a year now, I wasn't really giving him this label. I mean, sometimes I would, like, oh, that was very narcissistic, you know, like, not telling him this, but, you know, thinking like, oh, those are very narcissistic tendencies, but he's not a narcissist. And I'm gonna be honest, the main reason why I would think that is because I've seen him cry, like, a couple of times, a few times. But you know, now I think about it, is I've been learning about the concept of mirroring, and how some people will mirror you, and that's a manipulation tactic. I don't usually witness narcissists cry like that. Usually they leave you alone in your emotions, and you know, as an empath, they'll leave you alone in your emotions, and then, you know, maybe even just mess with you even more while you're down there in your emotions, you know. But he's made it a point to point this out to me, that, you know, he's cried in front of me, and the times when I've gotten mad at him, and you know, he'll make it like, I cried in front of you, like, I don't cry in front of nobody, and da da da, even though I cried in front of him too. But I would be thinking, like, for some reason, him crying in front of me is bigger than me crying in front of him. Maybe because I'm a woman and he's not. I don't know, but I don't think that's okay now, right? So anyway, getting a little real, huh? So yeah, just, you know, very much so being like a resource for him or whatever, but never really completely being like, he's a narcissist. But I mean, things kept happening to where I'm like, right? Because I've had a lot of experience with a lot of narcissists, and it just wasn't all the way clicking. So recently, I'm on the phone and I'm trying to get my stuff handled. I'm having a very serious conversation about my livelihood, literally. And this was the one person who knew, like, that I was trying to basically just tend to my health all day long that day, because I need to get coverage for why I'm missing work. I'm not missing work for no reason, right? So I'm just trying to like do what I need to do, and then also get my health taken care of. Yeah. Even though I just don't like going to the doctor, right? So I'm like, man, I can't just not go to the doctor if I'm feeling like I can't work because I feel ill, because then they're going to be like, well, then you use your time and now you're in a negative and potentially can get fired. So I'm like, ugh, okay. So so crazy. So I'm on the phone just trying to get my stuff handled. I'm in the car because it was storming by the time I got back home, and I'm thinking, okay, I'll start the phone call and like, walk into my house as I'm on the phone. But then the lady answered the phone before I got out the car, and then it started storming as I'm on the phone with the lady. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna stay right here. And it was storming, right? And I don't think that's no joke that was all happening at the same time. It wasn't a coincidence. So on top of that all happening at the same time, he was persistent with trying to get my attention. Calling my phone back to back, texting me back to back to back, and like not just texting and just sending messages for me to be able to get back to when I'm available, but literally like, hey, and typing my whole name out and sending emojis like basically showing that he's irritated that I'm not answering and that I'm not making myself available to him. And at even one point I say, I'm sorry, I'm on the phone with such and such, so that he knows like what I'm doing. And he continued, basically texting, being like, hello, and even said, so the reason why I started telling this story is because a part of what he said was, it's not like I'm trying to distract you or nothing, but which it didn't even make sense what he texted. It was like he was trying to say that he's not trying to distract me, but he is trying to distract me. Like the way the text message came through, it was like a typo. But sometimes when people do typos or when people slip up and say something to me, I catch it. It's the same thing. You could slip up and text something that you really, it's your truth, but you didn't mean to say it, right? But it's your truth. So he had these typos that was like, basically let me know, oh, you do think that I'm supposed to stop what I'm doing in terms of getting my care, my self-care, in order to give you this, in order for you to consult with me, give you answers to these questions that you don't need me for real. Like, you don't need me for. Two, I'm not on duty. You're asking me questions in regards to my work position and I'm on an LOA. As a friend, you should be leaving me alone in terms of that. Like, you should be able to be like, you know what? I know there's a whole team that, there's nothing I can do for you here. What am I going to do? Like, what am I going to do? Talk to my HR friends to assist you or whatever? And on top of that, you asked me about this weather situation. It ain't even snowing. You've grew up in this state. Like, I haven't. I've been here for a little over a year. You've grown up here. You've done this job while it was snowing. You know what to do. So he's basically trying to figure out what is he supposed to do because it's storming, cats and dogs outside, and he's scared that he gonna, not be safe while driving. I'm over here trying to see with these people what support I can get because I don't feel safe just living in my body. What the fuck? So I'm like, I'm not worried about that. I'm not at work because I'm not even able to work right now. Like, I'm not able to maintain what the composure, the strength, the focus that I need to have in order to do the job that I'm currently employed to do. And you're aware of this, and you pressing me like never before. Like, he's pressed me before, but never like this. And so it was like the worst timing ever. I mean, there's never a good time for that. But it's like, if you want to choose the worst time, bro, you chose the worst time. Literally, I'm literally on the phone talking with people talking about I need a psych, like trying to figure out like what the heck I need to do about my psychology, because you know. So, and he's aware of this. Like, he been known that I was been going to the doctors all day. Told him that my next appointment, next focus for that day would be psychological assistance. Text him all this, So it's just kind of like, bro, you killing me, for real. Me loving you is killing me for real. So, and I'm sorry, that sounds very harsh, but it's like, no, but for real, because that's the type of way that I love. So some people could probably say, oh, well, that's your fault for loving that way. But if I didn't love that way, he wouldn't be connected with me. We wouldn't even be connected. It's because of the way that I love that I know this guy, that we're connected, because that's exactly, I don't know. I can't even break that down, but it's like, I'm a lover. That's what the fuck I do. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm going to be interacting with someone, it's going to usually be that way. Giving of myself in that way. Attention, care, and yes, I desire connections where it's reciprocated. But even when we first met, like, we talked about that. Like, we was out on a date, like, talking about that. And I really honestly felt like we were in the same shoes kind of with that, especially because we both Aquarius. So like, fooled me, because I would never, like, that to me was just this extra entitled act, like this behavior showing yourself as entitled. You think you're entitled to me, regardless of what it is that I have to do for myself or anybody else or for work. He had just done something like that recently before, where he's basically making it clear that he wants me to leave work early because that day his car wasn't working. So I helped him with getting to work. And he's literally, like, basically trying to, he didn't say, like, can you leave early? But he's like, oh, I wish you was going to leave early. And it's like, bro, you don't pay my bills. You do not pay my bills. This is the money I make to pay my bills, to feed myself. You know what I mean? But he's literally, like, has no problem with being like, I wish you. And everything is coming up to the surface now, right? Because it's like, all of this has been, nothing like this is new. Nothing is new. It's just looking different. It's just different ways in which he's done this type of stuff. So even that day, even though I didn't leave before the time I was scheduled to get off, I left early. To me, I left early because I was not done. Like, usually I'll give myself, like, I could stay up to an hour late. Like, if there's stuff that just requires my extra attention, especially if it's the last day before my weekend starts, like, because I take my work seriously, right? So, but because he wanted to leave early, like, okay, so I didn't leave when he wanted to leave, but, I gave him my keys to my car. Okay, I'll meet you there, but I rushed things along because of him. Mind you, I also got to work late, though, because of him, because I went to help him because his car wouldn't start that day, right? So it's like, I lost hours. I lost money because of you. For your birthday, when I went out of town with you for your birthday, I lost time, UPT, PTO, I lost money, right? Because I paid for a lot of shit, right? So it's just kind of like, for myself, that's what I do when I love. That is why I've had to disconnect myself from people so many times. Like, that's just what I do when I love. And some people will say, and I've been telling myself this, and that's why it kept me in this position with him for so long. Because I'm like, love don't tally. Love don't tally. I'm not looking for you to reciprocate fully, like, right away. But I am hoping that this is not a one-way situation. I'm not yet convinced that this is one way. I'm just convinced that, okay, for your birthday, you didn't have it like that for real. You just didn't want to be honest about it, and and I was able to come through, even though it hurt me. But and it's warped. It's warped. I admit it. It's warped. But I must be honest as well that there was times when I'm like, okay, I'm feeling like I've benefited from the relationship by having some healing and some growth occur within my heart, because I've been able to be emotionally expressive with him when necessary, you know. And after a while though, I must be honest, like after a while I'm like, I hope this ain't a narcissistic situation again, because narcissists feed off of that shit. They feed off of you being emotional. And I used to think it was just, oh, you know, he's listening to me, which to be honest, yeah, uh, that's questionable. But you know, like he wouldn't really show like irritation for real. A little later he would. I can't lie about that. He would show a little irritation a little later, being like, you know, we keep having these conversations. It's just exhausting. Usually I'd be the one exhausted myself, but I guess he'd be getting exhausted with me. But I tell him, like, I'm just letting you know, bro, like, this is me. You do not have to maintain your grip on me at all. Like, we do not have to remain connected. But it's like if we're together, if we're connected, if we're friends, if we're trying to figure out what we're gonna be, like trying to figure out what it is that we're trying to do, that we want to do, like because we feel for each other, you know, and we're gonna try to figure out what the nature of our relationship is gonna be. And I'm feeling away and I feel emotional, I have to be able to express that to you. I'm not about to be just holding stuff in and make myself sick, right? So I guess recently that's really kind of what been happening, because I've been holding stuff in, you know, because like the whole thing with the whole leaving early from work, that wasn't cool. Like you want to leave early, catch a ride with somebody else, but he literally came up to me, y'all, and like made it very clear he was ready to go. And yes, I was scheduled to be off, but there is a way that I do my work as an individual. But I'm like, you know what? I'm helping him today. I helped him get to work. You know, but then, like I said, that moment came when I'm trying to figure out my mental health after been trying to figure out my physical health all day long, going to doctor's appointments and missing work. I'm like, and you're gonna press what you supposed to do in terms of getting to work. Now his car works, mind you. I helped with that as well. But you know, again, not trying to tally, but just really adding up. Maybe why I reached the point of feeling so empty. You know what I mean? So in need myself and yet neglected. And then it became just clear as fucking day because the lightning struck on that shit. You know what I mean? Like you pressing to try and get me to tend to you, so you would have to be successful in distracting me from tending to me. And it's crazy because I even paused. I'm on the phone with the lady. Like, I'm not multitasking. I don't, if I'm talking to somebody and then this is a serious situation, look, ain't no need to explain it. It's like, bro, you're wrong. You're wrong, right? So I was pissed off because I'm like, here we go again. This is a definite similar situation to another time when I was scared for my health because I was having chest pains and my chest was hurting and I was scared because I'm like, what the fuck is that? Right? Like that don't feel healthy at all. Like heart attack? And I was a lot younger. So I go to the doctor, me and my ex at the time, who's like the bona fide malignant narcissist ever in life, in my life, right? Ever in my life. I'm trying to like, you know, reach out to him for support. This is not a typical thing that I do. It's very rare that I have to. And so then it's like, but I'm there for you, right? So just shunned, right? Just shunned, like, you know, like he didn't care. And so this was something where I'm like, okay, this is different because, you know, I'm going to the doctors and stuff. He's like, oh, what they say, blah, blah, blah. And mind you, the whole time I'm like, something's wrong with my stomach. Like something's wrong with my stomach and there's other stuff going on. But really like, what the fuck is going on with my stomach? My head hurting and da 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 da. And I tell you, there is something regarding this guy in my life and no longer in my life now, but this guy's history in my life and my stomach. I promise. There was a day he was walking up to the desk and I was working. I was walking and my stomach, I thought I was about to throw up. And it wasn't like I'm like unattracted to him. I've never had that reaction to somebody because I'm unattracted to them. I'm not unattracted to him. I'm very attracted to him. So, but I felt like I was about to throw up. And he's right there standing in front of me. And now that I think about it and I talk about it, it's because my spirit don't like this nigga. My spirit was repulsed by his energy. I don't know what he had been doing. I don't know what he had been saying, but something in his spirit was not matching up with my spirit. And my spirit almost made me throw up because he was coming near to me. And it was serious because I was standing, I'm like trying to talk to him. I'm like, I feel like my throat. What the fuck? Like, felt nauseous. I'm like, I know I ain't pregnant. I know I'm not pregnant. That's not a question, right? So I'm like, what the hell? Right? So basically, everything became very clear for me when that was going on because I've been in a very serious mental state where that needs attention. So for you to come with just the utmost energy because you're just so in need and just don't, and we've talked about me already doing the things that I've done and having not the things done for me that were said that were gonna be done. So that's the other part to it. It's like there were things said like, we gonna do this, I'm gonna do this for you, do this for you. And or even when I initially paid a whole chunk for his birthday, it was with the mindset of, oh, I'm gonna get paid back, and it's like I never did, and so again, like I have my issues in terms of like letting people go and making people let me go because we've had conversations about that where I'm like, you just probably should let me go because my emotional outbursts are expressions when I'm expressing to you the way I'm feeling because of the way our connection is going and being and how I'm losing in this and how it's hurting me and it makes me emotional. And then you're saying that I don't listen to you and I don't, and all these different things. So it's like, well, if we just hurting each other, bro, like we should just let each other go for real because there are some things that I can't budge on, like, and then it's just my heart was softened. I don't know. I don't know, but it's all been not okay. And it's all been a lesson for me to learn from. It's not just a matter of just pointing fingers. It's a matter for me to learn from, grow through, and realize that at the end of the day, shit, and this just came to me. At the end of the day, a person don't gotta be a narcissist to not be allowed in my world or not be allowed in my space. Like, it's like, well, what if you never found out he was a narcissist, Antoinette? Like, still the way he was doing his part in y'all's connection was not right regardless if he's narcissist or not. Like it's not about the label, it's about the behavior and the action, right? So I think he also had a really good way of talking with me that where like communication is very important to me, where a lot of people don't know how to, in my experience in relationships, like communication was always like not there. So he and I would communicate in ways that would make me feel like there's hope, we can do this as long as we keep communication, but then like I think what's been going on is he's been realizing just how much I love him for real and then how much I'm willing and able to do and how much I know how to do, and so he's been getting more comfortable, and so these other parts of him has just been becoming more clear to me, and he's just been more brave in expressing these other parts of him. And it's like I can't, like, we can't go. I can't go where you going. We can't go where we was going together. Like, this is it. So, because we talked about that. Like, I tried to talk to him about it a little bit or whatever. All this was through text because he still ain't learned the value of calling and talking on the phone when it's most necessary. So all text. I'm not fighting for the other types of communication. I'm done. But he tried to come with some, checking in, like, are you okay? And I'm always here for you. You can always talk to me. And it was just I'm like, yeah, right, sure. Like this was after that incident. He's like, yeah, no, I'm for real. Sure, okay, right. So then eventually I'm like, well, since he texts me, I'm gonna text him. And I just told him like, hey, yeah, you pissed me off Basically, in so many words, let them know that I was not right. I was not okay with it. And I'm not yet feeling like I'm going to be able to forgive that, because it comes from a space of something that I'm not about to be entertaining and allowing myself to get distracted by in my life, in terms of tending to myself, in terms of tending to my work. None of it. Tending to my life. Like, we're not a couple. We haven't been a couple. And especially since it's become very clear that we are like, okay, maybe this is a platonic situation, and we are like spiritually bonded in this other type of way, like soul family type of real, because I really care about him, right? Ever since that's been made clear, he's been more wanting to dominate more of my time and attention. Ain't that crazy? Like, literally, like, calls, text messages, what you doing? What you doing? Just, and it's like, I've noticed it, but then I'm like, well, perhaps this is the connection I'm to tend to right now. Like, I'm a carefree, call it my carefree spirit, my carefree part of me that's like, okay, yeah, I could see that. Like, I don't have many connections that I'm to tend to, that I'm like really taking care of right now. So, like, I know how to take care of this connection, at least to an extent. And really, the extent was reached when I'm like, you know what? Um, just like I'm seeking my psychological support, I think you need to do the same. I'm gonna give you this phone number. This is the same phone number that I had called and was on the phone with people I was on the phone with when you was doing what you was doing. And so, yeah, I can give you the number, and that's it, because you let me go this time, and you gonna leave me alone. So distractions, right? And it's just crazy because, like I said, when we were texting and in that moment, or when he was texting me, and I'm like, hey, I'm on the phone with so and so, and he's like, oh yeah, I knew that part. I just and somebody, I didn't want to distract you. I just need to know what I'm supposed to do. And it's crazy because I promise y'all, he persisted. He's like, hello, like, question marks. I'm like, it is the little like whatever emoji, talking about something. Never mind. And then when we got on the phone, because I called him back, right? When I'm done, I call him back, give him the opportunity to be like, I'm sorry. That I don't know what just got a hold of me, because something got a hold of your ass, nigga. Like, who the fuck do you think you are? I am. So, but we get on the phone and it's nothing. I'm just like, I'm more so silent. I'm really appalled, right? In the moment, like, damn. Right? But I'm always open to revelations, okay, of truth. So I'm just like taking it in. And he's more so silent. He ain't really saying much. And I told him like, yeah, I was on the phone. And he's like, yeah, I know. That's why I said never mind. I'm like, no, that's not why he said never mind. He said never mind because I wasn't answering back to you, but I was not about to argue. I'm literally my mental state. When I tell you it's not a game, it's not a game. So, yeah, it just went back to him getting to work. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know what you need to do. Call ERC or yeah, well, I don't know if that's going to work. So clear. This is what he's concerned about right now. So I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. But I need a moment. I'm going in the house. I don't know. You figure it out. Because it ain't something that's hard to figure out. You know what you need to do. Like, I can't express enough. Like, I'm done. If I've been enabling, I'm done. If I've been protecting, which I know I have spiritually, because that's what my energy does. It protects people and places. I'm done. You don't get that anymore. Not for me. Because there was a time we talked about, and that's another reason why I've kept this going with him, because there has seemingly been open communication for real. Like, there was a time I had to tell him, like, hey bro, I'm gonna need you to express gratitude and appreciation for when I do your hair. For real. Don't turn around expressing exhaustion because you've been having to sit as I do your hair because to you I take too long. Like, that happened before, and I had to let him know. Like, say thank you. Like, what the fuck? Just I'm the one that's doing the work, but it's like now it makes sense. Po baby is some form of a narcissist, some form. But yeah, I had to let him know. Cause there was a time I was doing his hair and he turned around, ugh, and he take forever. And like, bitch, I was so mad. Like, I'm the one doing your hair. What do you mean? And then it seemed that things had gotten better. So that's another thing, like I've observed. We talk, he learns, or I learn, and then things change, right? Get a little better. But unfortunately, all it does is like morphs into something else, or eventually is revealed through another filter, another hole, another way of being. And I can't go. I cannot go. So, yeah, no, we can't do that. So, I don't know if I'm going to post this. This is too much. I don't know yet, but I'm going to continue talking and I'm going to make up my mind later. I think this is more for me. I have to see. Maybe story time. Maybe so, because it can help somebody out there for real. Like, I know I'm not the only person who struggled with this type of thing. Like, excessively loving or giving or excessively even caring, just caring, right? Like, I be caring about people for real, like, worried about people, like, I don't know, like, they ain't got nobody else in their life. And that's what I had to step back and realize about him. I'm like, girl, you is not his only person, like, resource. You're not his girlfriend, even though he wants me to act like I am. Not his mama, but he got one. Shit, probably got a girlfriend. Got a grandmother. Got friends, bros. You is not. Yeah. So he's okay. He is gonna be okay. You need to take care of you. Wasting resources. But I do feel like I have often had to play the role of the karma bringer. So he had to maybe learn some things about himself through our connection, and I had to learn some things about me as well, and ours. And that was the day that it was truly over. We text a few more times, or maybe even just one more time. But I was right on the money. This is concluding. We are done. Yeah. So I really feel like my life is headed towards me being for real, like oftentimes like just solo at home doing spiritual stuff. Just so that I'm protected, right? Because this is what happens when I'm out in the world for real. Like I bond with somebody who is really just a leech. And I get caught up in my role of giving, serving, helping because that's my heart. And I failed to realize until after a while that they're a whole leech, a whole mosquito. So we'll see what this video about. But at the moment, I'm tired and I want to lay back down. So I feel like I had to get that out. So like I said, it could have been more so for me, but we shall see if I post it for other people to maybe benefit from. At the moment, I just feel like I want to lay back down. I will put out there, just in case I do post this video, I've been struggling with, I guess, progressive anemia. Like, it's been getting worse. I just need a proper diagnosis so that I could be treated properly, not just by doctors, but also at work. Because I get tired. I be tired. And so when I went to the doctor for other concerns, are I guess including anemic related, I didn't know they were anemia related. He was like, looking at me and like looked at my eyes and my nails and was like asking me like, am I anemic? And I'm like, I think I've experienced anemia. Like, I just have like no official diagnosis of anything. Like, I've just almost never been tested for just about nothing. But he like pointed something out to me that's like, oh, okay. Like my eyes, the lack of blood showing up in my eyes. So, and in my nails. So, anyway, yeah, fatigue comes with all that. So, yep, I'm good to lay back down now. And, yeah, I'm gonna do that. I hope y'all are well. And if I post this, thanks for watching. Till next time, Mama Lotus out. I think that's what I said last time, right? I don't know. Bye.